Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jaya Jaya Shri Chaitanya, Jaya Nityananda.
Jai Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Advaita Chandra, Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Can I read?
Please.
Yeah. There are 5 transcendental rasas or mellows. The initial stage is called Santarati, wherein one who is liberated from material contamination appreciates the greatness of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One who attains this stage does not exactly engage in the transcendental loving service of the Lord, for this is the neutral stage.
So how many rasas are there? Transcendental. Rasas are this eternal relationship that one has with Krishna. How many are there?
5.
5.
5. That's right. Thank you. And the first one, the very first one,
is Shanta. Shanta.
Santarati.
Shantarati. It's called here Shantarati, but we call it Shantaras. In English, it's
Neutral.
called neutral.
Neutral.
Yeah. So in this, the living entity, he's completely understood. I'm not this body. I'm a spirit soul. I'm a part and parcel of Krishna. He's completely understood that Krishna is God. He's not yet, engaging in that service, but he is appreciating the position of Krishna. He's appreciating that Krishna is God. Yeah, so this is a liberated platform. It's not under the modes of nature. This is like a highly spiritually advanced living entity. Just to understand that I'm not God. Krishna is God. Appreciating that. So sometimes the examples that are given of this neutral rasa, sometimes examples that are given is of the flute, Krishna's flute, or the flowers of Vrindavan, or the cows, the birds, the bees. Yeah. So when we read in Nectar of Devotion, then those devotees, they are to be in this Shantaras. Then again, we may say, but what about those who are in Vrindavan? Actually, in Vrindavan, the most prominent ras is Madhurya, the sweetness. And so even if you're a bee or if you're a bird or if you're a flute, they have that sweetness of love with Krishna. So in Golok Vrindavan, the most prominent ras is the Madhurya. Yeah.
It's the conjugal love, right? Like the gopis have.
Conjugal, yes, that's the highest, but also that sweetness, the sweetness of the loving relationship. So in Golok Vrindavan, all the relationships are there. There will be Dasya, there will be Vatsalya, there will be Sakhya, but they all have this sweetness, very, very sweet exchange. Okay.
And I think in the Shantras, there's also the animals also come in this, right? Category.
Yes, that's right. Yes.
Right.
The animals also come in this Shantaras. the cows.
In the sorry. In the second stage, which is called Dasya Rati, indicates his position as being everlasting subordinate to the Lord, and he understands that he is eternally dependent on the causeless mercy of the Supreme Person. At that time, there is an awakening of natural affection, such as is felt by a son who grows up and begins to appreciate his mother's benediction. At this stage, the living entity wants to serve the Supreme Lord instead of serving Maya illusion.
So what's the second stage?
Dasya Rati.
Yeah. And what is the predominant mood in this? That?
You want to serve, like.
Yeah. He understands he wants to serve. And also he's understanding that he is
Eternally dependent on the causeless mercy of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah. So the living entity is established his position as a servant of Krishna. He's understanding that Krishna is my Supreme Father. He's always taking care of me. There's natural affection which is awakened. The love is awakened. And that's the reason the living entity wants to do something. In the earlier, the mood is not so awakened. Of course, it is there, but here more. And because it's more, that's the reason the living entity wants to serve. Here, appreciation for the greatness of the Supreme Lord. But here, there is more appreciation. There's a natural affection, and that's the reason he's saying, I want to serve. We can see also when we really love someone, we want to do a lot of things for them. Isn't it? We may appreciate someone, but we may not serve them. But then when we really, really love someone, then we want to really serve them.
The third stage in the development of transcendental love is called Sakhya Rati. In this stage, one associates with the Supreme as a friend on an equal level, with love and respect. At this stage is further developed. There is joking and such relaxed exchanges as laughing. On this level, there is a fraternal exchange with the personality of the Godhead. One is free from all bondage. One forgets his inferior position as the living entity, but at the same time, he has the greatest respect for the Supreme Person. So this is Gopas, like all his cowherd boys,
Yes.
like his friendship.
Yes, that's right. Okay. That's right. The friends where they can appreciate the Lord as a friend. They can have that loving relationship with him. Also, we have to understand it doesn't mean that because they're joking and because they are getting on Krishna's back that they don't love him. The foundation of all the rasas is servitude, that they all want to make Krishna happy. So even though the friends joke with him, oh, what are you doing? You just have 900,000 cows. I have 1 point how many million cows, all that. There's no real pride. It's all still, the foundation is they all know that they are serving Krishna. But the sweetness of the relationship is so much that they forget that. And that's how they are able to joke with him. They're able to have this loving relationship with him. Because the sweetness of friendship is so much more.
In the fourth stage called Vatsalya Rati, the fraternal affection of the preceding stage develops into parental affection. At this time, the living entity acts as the parent of God. Instead of worshipping the Lord, the living entity as a parent of the Supreme Person becomes an object of worship for him. At this stage, the Lord depends on the mercy of his pure devotee and puts himself under the control of the devotee to be raised nicely. Such a devotee can embrace the Supreme Lord, even kiss his head. That's Mata Yashoda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, that's the mood of the parent. Where
So
the
even mother,
devotee thinks,
this thing, no.
I'm sorry.
Even Devki Mata would be in the same Rasya, no.
Yeah, she's also
Mother
in Vatsalya.
Yashoda. Mother
Yes, both of them,
Yashoda.
Devki, Mother Yashoda, even Devki, yes. Of course, there's a difference because Mother Yashoda, she is the highest love that one can feel in this Vatsalya group. Devki also has the same Vatsalya, but Mother Yashoda is the highest. So we can see that there are also levels then. And of course, yeah, and of course, we can understand that Mother Yashoda and Devki, they are not ordinary living entities. They're Krishna's own personal expansions. Yeah. It's not that a living entity has become Mother Yashoda. No, no, she's eternally Krishna's mother. Nanda Baba is eternally Krishna's father. Like that. But yes, that's the mood here. That parent, that if I don't take care of Krishna, he's going to die. If I don't discipline him, he's going to become a thief.
In the fifth stage called the Madhurya Rati, there is a transcendental exchange of conjugal love between the lover and the beloved. It is at this stage that Krishna and the damsels of wrist glance lovingly at one another. For on this platform, there is exchange of glances, movements of the eyebrows, pleasant words, smiles, attractive smiles, etc. This is with the gopis or with Radharani?
Yeah, the gopis. And then the highest is with Radharani. So the gopis also have this conjugal love. And the conjugal love, the epitome, the peak is with Radharani. So we can see, why conjugal love is called the highest, because conjugal love is taking care as a parent, being as serving, being as a friend, serving as a servant, appreciating the greatness, all is there. So the second stage has the appreciation and the servitude. The friendship has the appreciation and the servitude and friendship. And then the parent has all the three preceding, like taking care of Krishna in that capacity, or having that relationship with Krishna in that capacity. And that's the reason the Madhurya Ras is called the highest, because it includes all the other ras in the Madhurya.
Besides these 5 primary rases, there are 7 secondary rases which consist of laughing, wonder, chivalry, pity, anger, gladness, and devastations. For example, Bhishma related to Krishna as a warrior in the chivalrous rasa. Hiranyakashipu, however, experienced an exchange of the ghastly and devastating rasa. The 5 primary rasas constantly remain within the heart of the pure devotee. The 7 secondary rasas sometimes appear to enrich the flavors and taste of the primary ones. After enriching the primary rasas, they disappear.
So there's 7 rasas. So there are actually 12 rasas. 5 are primary. That's a relationship. Then what are the 7 secondary rasa? These rasas are laughing. So somebody may be Krishna's friend, but for a certain time they are laughing. So that is the secondary rasa. Or wonder.
Laughing with him.
Laughing with him. Joking with him.
Okay.
Enjoying with him.
That becomes like sakha rasa, like friendship.
Yeah, it could be with the friends that they're laughing together, or the gopis are laughing together with Krishna. Yeah, so to make the relationship more enjoyable, no? There are these different emotions which come and go. Anger, sometimes Radharani is going to get so angry at Krishna that, oh, why did you come late? Or you went to meet Chandravali, what's happening? And then she'll have a fit of anger. So this is to make the relationship more sweeter, the exchange more sweeter. It's not that she's angry every time, but sometimes anger will be in. or wonder, like Mother Yashoda gets wonder when Krishna opened the mouth and saw everything inside. Yeah. So here the examples given are Bhishma Dev, because he was in the Virya Ras. He was shooting arrows at Krishna. But Krishna was enjoying the shooting of arrows. To Krishna, this kind of arrows was like Bhishma Dev is showering him with flowers, but actually it was arrows. But this is based on love. It's not that Bhishma Dev is an enemy of Krishna. No, he has a loving relationship with Krishna. Yeah. So that's how this. Now Hiranyakashipu, there is this. Of course, he was always Hiranyakashipu was afraid of Krishna. Nishingadev, Nishingadev just tore him apart. So that's ghastly and devastation. So to make the pastimes more, what do you say, more enjoyable, relishable, these 7 rasas sometimes may come and go. But the 5 are primary rasa, that the living entity, the relationship that living entity has with Krishna, that's always there. That they don't forget that.
Examples of Santa Bhaktas are the sages known as 9 Yoganantras, namely Kavi, Antaraksha, Prabhupada, Piplayana, Potra, Dravida, Drumila, Kamasa, and Kara Bhajana. The 4 Kumaras, Sanakana, Sanadana, Sanat Kumara, and Sanatana, are also examples of this stage. Examples of devotees in the second stage of Raktara, Sitraka, and these are all servants of Krishna and Godaka. In Dwarka, Duruka, and in the Venkunta planet, Hanuman, and others. Devotees in the third stage friendship include Sridhama in Vrindavan, Bhishma and Arjuna in Dwarka, or on the battlefield of Kurukshetra. As for those relating to Krishna's parental, include his mother, father, uncle, and other relatives. In conjugal love, there are the damsels of rich Vrindavan, the queens of Dwarka, and the goddess of fortune, Venkunta. No one can count the vast numbers of devotees in the
this ras. Okay, so here in teachings of Lord Chaitanya, then the examples of the Shanta differently than what's given in Nectar of Devotion, but the idea is the same, appreciating the position of the Supreme Lord, the 4 Kumaras, Sanak, Sanandana, Sanat Kumar, and Sanatan, and also the 9 Yogendras. The 9 Yogendras, we're going to hear about them as we read Bhagavatam. The 9 Yogendras are the sons of Bharat Maharaj, the great devotees of the Lord. And then the devotees of servant. In Vrindavan, Krishna has the servants, Bhakta, Chitraka, Patraka. He has this, and in Gokula they are there. And this servant in Dwarka, his chariot driver. Then also, of course, Prabhupada is saying that in Vaikunta there's Hanuman and others. Hanumanji, very famous servant. Friends, Krishna has friends in Gokul. In Gokul, also he has friends in Dwarka, Hastinapur. No? So like Arjuna is his friend in Dwarka. So the mood is a little different. Uddhav is his friend in Dwarka. The mood is a little different. Now the friends in Vrindavan, the Gopas, his cowherd boys, that mood is a little different. Sridham, Subal, Stoka Krishna, Madhumangal, there's more like joking and laughing. Whereas in Dwarka, Sure, there's joking and laughing too, yes, but there is certain awe and reverence there. There's a mixture of a little bit of awe and reverence. And then the parents, of course, as we spoke of, Mother Yashoda, and then there's Nanda Baba, Devki, Mother Devki, and so many. And conjugal love, then they are the queens in Dwarka. That's also conjugal, like Rukmini, Satyabhama, Jambavati. All those are conjugal. Then Lakshmi Devi, that's also conjugal. All the various expansions of Lakshmi Devi in the Vaikuntha planets also conjugal. And the gopis in Vrindavan, that's also conjugal. And then what is pointed out, no one can count the vast number of devotees in this house, millions and millions of devotees.
So even we have to develop, right, one relationship with Krishna.
Yeah, the foundation, Lord Chaitanya said, Jivera Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas. We at least have to come to that point first. What's our real ras with Krishna will be revealed in time. We continue chanting offenselessly, follow the four regulative principles under the direction of the spiritual master, then it will be revealed. But first we need to come to that point of Jivera Swarupai Krishnera Nityadas.
Meaning, that means
Servant of Krishna.
servant of Krishna.
Yeah, that's the foundation. Because even all the other rasas are based on this. You know, like Radharani, she knows how to serve Krishna the most. She knows how to please Krishna the most. Of course, no one can become Radharani. She is Krishna's own potency. You know, but the idea is that we need to first try to understand our position as eternal servant of Krishna. And what is our actual ras will be revealed. Just chant offenselessly, follow the regulative principles under the guidance of spiritual master, and it will all be revealed in due course of time.
But we can still say, right, Krishna, you are my father.
Oh yeah.
Or you're my friend.
Yes.
You're my Sakha.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
friend.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah. Yes. You're my best friend. You're my father. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
In general, attachment to Krishna is of two kinds. The first kind is attachment with awe and veneration, characterized by a lack of freedom, such as attachment is exhibited in Mathura and Vaikuntha planets. In these abodes of the Lord, the flavor of transcendental love service is, but in Goluka Vrindavan, love is freely exchanged, and although the cowherd boys and damsels of Vrindavan know that Krishna is the Supreme Personality, they do not show awe or venerations because of the great intimacy of their relationship with Him through thick and thin. In the five principal transcendental relationships, awe and venerations are sometimes impediments to one's service to the Lord. When there is friendship, parental affection, and conjugal love, such awe and veneration are impediments. For example, when Krishna appeared as the son of they prayed to the Lord with awe and venerations because they understood that the Supreme Lord Krishna or Vishnu had appeared before them as their little child. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:44.51. Devki and Vasudev, knowing their son to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead, began to pray to him, although he was present before them as their child. Similarly, when Arjuna saw the universal form of the Lord, he was so afraid that he begged pardon for his deed to Krishna as an intimate friend. As a friend, Arjuna often behaved unceremoniously with the Lord, and upon seeing the awesome universal form, Arjuna said, can somebody read?
Sakheti matma prasabham yadyuktam He Krishna, He Yadava, He Sakheti Ajanatamahīmanam tavedam maya pramadat praneyanena vapi.
My dear Krishna, sometimes I insulted you by calling you my dear friend Krishna without knowing the greatness of your unconceivable power. I was mad to act you like a common friend or a common man. Bhagavad Gita 11.41. Similarly, when Krishna.
Okay, you're continuing to read, is it? Okay. Okay, so we can continue to read.
Similarly, when Krishna was playing jokes with Rukmani, she feared that he might leave her and became so perverted that she dropped the fan which she was fanning him.
So disturbed, perturbed.
But that she dropped the fan with which she was fanning him and fainted. Her hair scattered as she fell unconscious to the floor like a plantain tree blown down by a blast of wind. But as far as
okay.
No, it's again the next paragraph, no? So we can read till here first.
Okay, so what Lord Chaitanya is saying that now there is the relationships are there. In Vaikuntha, the relationship is more of awe and veneration. But in Vrindavan, it's more of Madhurya. There's more Aishwarya in Vaikuntha, in Mathura, in Dwarka. It is more Aishwarya, where people understand that Krishna is God. So what example is given that Devki and Vasudev, they are immediately praying to Krishna because they understand he's God. Instead of hugging him, kissing him, oh my baby, cuddling him. That's what Mother Yashoda does. She, she does not care whether Krishna is God or not, but she's more concerned that he is my child. But in Mathura, for example, they are more aware that, oh, he is God. So that's the reason the exchange is not as sweet as it is in Vrindavan. Yeah, so Vrindavan Leela is more sweeter because they're really into that relationship. Like Arjuna is offering prayers to Krishna that, because he saw the universal form. So he's like, oh my God, please forgive me. You're the Supreme Lord. But Sridham and Madhumangal, they are like, what? We are going to play with you. We are going to, get on your back because you lost. What God? You're not God. So that's the closeness of the relationship. It's all based on love. All based on love, though. So that is the point that is being explained here. Yeah. So I think we might have to stop here. It's already 8.
Okay.
Yeah. So we'll stop here. Were there any comments or questions?
No, all clear.
Okay. Thank you so much for listening and joining in. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki